All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Mondays at Moore Hillman Academy. My name is Ann Fawcett again, and I'm the admission director here. So first off, just want to say huge shout out to Parents Club and President Jill Thorne for an amazing family weekend. We had so much fun. The pancake feed was great. The scavenger hunt, I think the kids had a good time exploring downtown and seeing more what we have here to offer in Atchison. I mean, I know we're a small town, but we have a lot here. Okay. And finding the Raven and whoever was in the Raven mascot. And then also the dinner and dance was so much fun. The food was phenomenal. The dance was great. We still kept the tradition of mother, son, father, daughter dance. So they each had their own special dance that they could, that way they could have that with their parents. And we had boarding students come and they still had a great time. And all the boarding families that came into town for it were so happy you guys were able to come. So huge success. Can't wait for next year and keeping with a new and incorporating the old traditions for family weekend. So kind of what I wanted to talk about today was that, what is kind of the cost of boarding? Because I think a lot of times families see the sticker price and it is shocking. It is definitely shocking. And so what I really like to do sometimes is actually show more of a visual of breaking it down. There are things that you see, you see the brick and mortar, you see the people, you see the student's room, you see the meals. This is what you see. And there's a lot of stuff that you can't see that are things that parents say that they want for their kid, that independence, the self-discipline, that type of stuff. And so just kind of going through that, but then also really breaking it down. I mean, we kind of incorporate all of our costs together. We like to try and be as much of all inclusive as possible and try not to have any like little tiny fees. We still have a few. And there are some of those extra costs that come with a child being away from home and being here. And if they need, spending money or whatever it is, there are those extra things in travel and stuff that you have to consider as costs throughout the year, but just breaking down maybe some things so you guys can see. I've given this presentation before. You can go back on our YouTube channel and look up just affording boarding school basically. And it goes through our costs. It does have our costs from last year. So I've updated it for a cost for this coming next year. And then also how you apply for scholarships, because we do have scholarships. And so families, I always tell families you should ask. Some of our scholarships are more merit-based, and we like to award a child who's been very successful in community service and projects and things that they've accomplished throughout middle school and coming into high school. And then we have families that we have an endowment. And so we do have some need-based scholarships and some financial aid available for families who maybe need a little bit extra more. So I'm going to share my screen here. All right. So hopefully everyone can see kind of what I wanted to show is, so this is again, like what are you paying for at a boarding school? And so again, this is what you can see. This is, the academics, clearly they're getting a great education here, college preparatory, taking some advanced placement classes, dual credit. I mean, you don't see that until usually later, but again, we do prepare them early on because we have an honors track that gets them on that track for their freshman year. The student dorm room. Anybody who visits our campus, you will get to see if you have a boys dorm, or the girls dorm. We have really good facilities for our type of school. The buildings are definitely that 1960s, 70s style cinder block, but we make them as homey as possible and more welcoming in the dorms and in the lounge and the prefect office. And we can't change a building, but when you walk in, you feel very much at home is what we try to make it feel. But then we tell the students, like, this is your room, decorate it appropriately, but decorate it how you want. The meals, we provide obviously the meals for the students throughout the entire week and on the weekend. The resident staff, so the people who are watching over the kids, You have your resident director, and then he has this amazing group of prefects. And then also we have, our maintenance and cleaning staff as well. The extracurricular activities, we encourage everyone to participate in whatever they can, whenever they can. And we have a variety of sports, performing arts programs, and student clubs available throughout the year. And then just the campus facilities, like you see, the brick and mortar. So this is what you can see in the class. And then when I talk to families about, why boarding school, but these are the things that the kids really, really get to learn and have the advantage over any day student, really, or attending any day school, is that they're gonna become more independent. It just happens. They have to, they can always call their mom or dad. They can, whoever they need help from, they can talk to resident director. But at the end of the day, sometimes they're going to have to figure it out on their own, and they're going to do it. And that's going to make it way more successful when they go to college, and just life in general, is that ability to, think on your own, whether it's critical thinking skills or just figuring things out. Self-discipline. We do help them and push them a little bit, cleaning their rooms and having chores and things like that. But then it instills in them some responsibility as far as, this is my home. So if I see a piece of trash on the floor, like, I'm going to pick it up, and it not be a second thought. And so that's what, those things go a long ways in life. That self-discipline of, your own personal growth, basically. Maturity. This might take a little longer, but but our students do, actually, they do grow and they mature, and they definitely learn a lot, basically, but it might take a year or two. And here, being a Catholic campus, obviously spiritual growth. We have students who will learn something in the classroom, in the religion class, or hear something at Mass, so Father Jay says, and they come back and they talk to our prefects. So they talk to students about it, and their classmates and their dorm mates. And it's just that continued growth, that continuing asking questions and figuring it out, basically. Health and well-being, sometimes we got to push a kid and be like, hey, you need to go take a shower, but they learn how to really take care of themselves. And we really emphasize, especially health here, whether it's getting some exercise, working out, eating well, whatever it is, we can definitely help the students that way. Networking. This place, we do introduce students to alumni and past families who have been here. But I think this even dives deeper into, they're so used to and accustomed to living with different students and different people from around the world, that it almost becomes like a natural, like, hey, I want to walk up to someone and just introduce myself. And a networking event, that's exactly what it is. It's just having that courage to just walk up to someone and talk to them. And so they, we provide those opportunities for them, but they're more inclined to actually go and do it. And then just ambition, seeing that they can do more, seeing that they're given this opportunity, and just having that drive to become a better person. So those are the things that, you're also getting when you come to a boarding school. And so then this is just another slide that I really like to show families. And of course, now I'm trying to think of it myself now that I have a son, but the tuition, if you look at average, and this is mostly Midwest, but this is kind of how it is, tuition in just a day private high school, it can cost anywhere from $12,000 to $20,000, depending on where you live, for tuition, especially if you're in a big city. Maybe the rural areas might not be as much, but if you're in a big city, I would say this is probably about average. It probably might be a little bit more depending on if you live in the coast areas. The food, kind of an average per year, feeding your child, I'm probably on the lower end, especially if you have a son. Transportation, I know now I talk to friends all the time, like, oh, I'm always driving here, I'm always taking my kid here, always taking my kid here. And it's usually revolving around school activities. So think of how much you might save if your child actually lives on the campus and they can just walk everywhere. And we know that you can't see your kid for every single game, but we do try and broadcast every home game that we have on Facebook. So at least you don't have to go and come here, but you can watch them. Activities, essentials. So your total range is about, we're figuring $24,000 to $34,000 a year, just depending on what you guys do as a family when you break things out. So then look at a boarder cost. So this is our cost for next year, $26,950 for any of our students coming from the United States, or if you're a US citizen, you live outside the country. We figure you're probably going to give an allowance of $1,000 a year. You're going to purchase some, obviously, more things right away, $1,500. And this is like, I need to get bedding, or I need to get a desk lamp, or I need to do this like for my dorm room. So that might get lower as each year goes. And then travel, we know kids have to either fly or drive or whatever it is. And we do try and help out by giving transportation to the airport. And then for international students, the reason that it is a little bit higher is obviously their travel might be a little bit more and they have to apply for visas. But this cost actually does include for international the medical insurance, that's a very good coverage, and then also the ESL support. So students do English as a second language support. And then we do have as a school a fee to be able to host international students on a visa. So we have to cover those costs. But this is all the tuition, especially just the tuition portion. That's what that all includes. And then you have your extras. So in comparison, when you look at, especially a US student, it is, in our eyes, it can be affordable. It can be affordable. It's just taking that sticker price and breaking it down. And then, like I said, we do have scholarships and financial aid for students. And so if you feel, if you want to ask questions about it, please call, and I'd be happy to walk you through the steps and what we need for that process, and to try and make it a little bit more affordable for families. So we are blessed to have an endowment and alumni who were themselves on scholarships and want to donate back for that. So just want to talk about a little bit that today, and the affordability of boarding school, and that because of our location, we are very affordable. We're in the middle of the country, where in comparison, boarding schools in large cities or even on the coast areas are going to start at about $60,000. And so it's just that, we're a great school, we're a great option. We have very good facilities. We have wonderful activities. We have a loving staff to take care of your child, and phenomenal teachers. And so it's just, something to really think about when you're looking at boarding, especially, like I said, those what you can see and what you cannot see. And, where do you want your child to be when they become an adult, when they graduate from high school, and if they're going to have that extra step ahead of their day student classmates or just anybody else that's entering college, that they will already be ahead because they've been a boarding student. So feel free to give us a call. We're here in the office. Come up for a visit. That's what I tell them. Or if you can't come for a visit, I will happily give you a one-on-one virtual tour. Usually I just kind of take my cell phone and go around and show you guys the campus, introduce some students and some faculty so you guys can see everything. Check out our website, of course, go on our social media. We have plenty of shows on the YouTube channel. We also have our Instagram, our Facebook, and TikTok, which I know the kids like to see, but parents, you might get a good laugh too, but then go online and read all about our school. So thank you guys again for joining me on this Monday, and we'll see you next week. Bye.